One of our next cables that we're going to talk about, we talked about RJ45. Now we also need to talk about RJ11. RJ11 is similar to RJ45 in the way that it looks, but RJ11 actually has less pins, and as well as less wires. RJ11 stands for registered jack 11, and it has 6 connectors. 6 connectors and 6 wires inside. So this is one of our RJ11 connectors, and this is our RJ45 connector. We can see right away the big difference between the two. Number one, our RJ45 has a bigger connector. There's more pins. And when we take a look at our ports as well, our RJ11 ports are going to be smaller, and our RJ45 ports are going to be larger. RJ11 was used back when we're trying to connect to internet via modems, connect over the telephone lines. But now most of our internet cables are going to be used using RJ45. And RJ11 is now mostly reserved for telephone lines. That's where we're going to most commonly see it, is in our telephones. When we open it up, and we're using scissors here, but there are better tools for this. We actually have wire and cable cutters that make this quite a bit easier. And when we take a look inside this cable, we'll see it also looks quite a bit different than our RJ45 cables. Where our RJ45 cables are these large cables that are twisted together, or unshielded twisted pair that we can pull apart and we can punch down easily. These are a bit more difficult to deal with. So we see the big differences between the RJ11 and our RJ45. Again, mostly used for telephones, but we also want to remember that these, as well as our RJ45 that are power over Ethernet, can carry electricity. There's been instances where I've actually been pulling wires through that have power on them, and then they aren't electrical wires, so you forget, you just think that they're data wires, and then you go and you try to strip one with your teeth, and you make those contacts, and you get a little bit of a reminder that it's a powered line. So we want to remember that, and we want to be careful so that we don't cause damage to, say, certain electrical components, damage to our equipment, or damage to ourselves. Our RJ11 registered jack 11 is going to be 6 pins and is mostly going to be used for our telephone connections. And that's how we can see our difference between our RJ11 and our RJ45.